Welcome to Over 40 and Automated, where we trade stress for simplicity, one smart habit at a time. And this is Mythbusters Monday, where we clear up the confusion and help you build a life that feels easier and more efficient, without shame, stress, or second guessing. Today's myth: I don't have enough going on to need automation. Whew, let's talk about it. This one comes up all the time, and it usually sounds casual. Harmless even, like, I'm not that busy, or my life is simple enough, or that tech stuff is for folks who got more going on than me. But I want to challenge that thought, not from a place of shame or pressure, but from a place of possibility. Because I think it's time we reframe what we mean when we say, I'm not busy. What if the goal isn't to just handle life, but to actually create room inside it? Most of us over 40 have spent decades in survival mode, doing what had to be done, adjusting, pivoting, stretching ourselves to meet the demands of everybody else. And somewhere in all that, we picked up this belief that ease is extra, that if you're not exhausted, you must not be working hard enough. But that mindset? That's not sustainability. That's burnout dressed up as noble. So let me say this clearly. You don't have to be overwhelmed to benefit from automation. You don't have to have a packed calendar or a full household or a booming business. Automation isn't about complexity. It's about clarity. It's about making your life easier in quiet, consistent ways. Even if your day-to-day feels calm, automation can still give you something most people don't even realize they're missing. Mental space. That internal exhale. That moment where you don't have to hold every reminder, task, and obligation in your head like a juggler on edge. Because here's what I know. Even simple lives are layered, especially after 40. You might be caregiving for a parent. You might be managing your health. You might just be dealing with a body and a brain that doesn't bounce back as quickly anymore. That's valid. That's real. And that deserves support. Automation is not about having a million things to do. It's about honoring the fact that even the few things you do have to do still take energy, still take time, still matter. And you deserve to have some of that energy returned to you. Maybe your bills are already manageable, but what if you never had to remember a due date again? Maybe you don't cook fancy meals, but what if your grocery staples auto-reordered every Thursday? So all you had to do was click approve? Maybe you don't forget appointments, but what if your phone reminded you to drink water, take your vitamins, or stand up and stretch before your body had to scream at you to do it? This isn't about being tech savvy. This is about being intentional. And I get it. There's a fear that says, well, if I automate everything, what will I even do? And my answer is, you'll finally have the space to figure that out. What do you like? What lights you up? What makes you laugh? So many of us have no idea because we've never had the time to explore it. We've just been going, fixing, working, helping. Automation creates a pause, a gap, a little crack in the noise where you can breathe again. And no, this isn't about replacing your personality with a robot. This is about freeing up the parts of your brain that are tired of remembering the same 12 things every week. It's about not having to start from scratch every single time. How many times have you said, this week I'm going to plan better? And then the week disappears before you even get started? Automation lets you start and then stay started. And if your first thought is, but I don't need that, I invite you to ask, what could I create if I wasn't always trying to keep up? You don't need chaos to justify ease. You don't need overwhelm to deserve help. And you don't need a complicated life to want a better one. This isn't about doing less because you're lazy. It's about doing less because you've earned it. Because your nervous system deserves a break. Because your mornings shouldn't always start in panic mode. Because your memory isn't what it used to be. And that's not a failure. That's just real life. Automation helps you age with more peace, more predictability, more rhythm. And when life does pick up, because it will, when the diagnosis comes, or the call from the school, or the unexpected road trip, or the heartbreak, or the celebration, wouldn't it be nice to already have a few things handled? You don't build a safety net while you're falling. You build it while things are calm, so that it catches you when they're not. So if you're listening to this and thinking, I don't have enough going on to need this, I want you to reframe it. I have enough going on to deserve this. Start small. Automate your grocery list. Set up one calendar reminder. Use one email filter. And then let that small win show you how good ease can feel. That's it for today. If you want more ways to simplify your life and set up support that sticks, grab your free Mindful Automator Starter Kit at mianadk.com/resources. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's myth. You're not lazy. You're layered. And that's exactly why automation was made for you. See you next time.